Welcome to Pythian's webinar series. Today our topic is when to invest in the cloud and what to consider. I'm joined by one of Pythian's cloud experts, Chris Presley. In a Q&A style, we will answer a few questions for companies who are still planning their way to the cloud. But before we start, Chris will give us a short introduction about himself and Pythian's experience with the cloud.
Thank you, Stephanie. My name is Chris Presley. I'm a solutions architect with Pythian. I've worked with Pythian for about 8 years now in a variety of capacities, mostly with Microsoft technologies. Pythian specializes in helping companies adopt disruptive technologies. When it comes to our experience with the leveraging cloud technologies, we are platform independent, vendor agnostic company providing services. We can and have helped organizations look at cloud-based technologies, figure out how to best leverage those technologies, adopt the technologies, and then support the technologies on a go-forward basis.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thanks so much, Chris. All right. Well, I'm excited to get the Q&A started. The first question is, we're going to start with what we believe is the right time to invest in cloud and why. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the factors that are pushing businesses to invest in the cloud.
Okay, thank you. The right time was really a few years ago, and the reality is, if you're listening to this on a work PC, you probably have been leveraging the cloud for a little while anyway. Most likely your organization has something like web-based email, or maybe they leverage or use online Office documents like Office 365 or Google Docs or something like that. Maybe you have a corporate Dropbox or use OneDrive or something like that. So the cloud is a very broad term. Today we're really talking about infrastructure as a service and platform as a service in relation to your data service needs. And in this, when we get into this, not every customer is leveraging the cloud. It's something a lot people talk about, but they aren't necessarily doing much with. That said, I think that there's a very strong interest in leveraging IaaS and PaaS. And I think businesses should begin, if they're not, and continue to, if they are, investing in the public and private cloud technologies, but only where it makes sense to them. So what does that mean? Where does it make sense? In my opinion, it's wherever the cloud offers you opportunities to enhance your level of innovation, perhaps through either capitalizing on opportunity or taking advantage of new features, or perhaps there's just a business problem that you need to solve and the cloud is is part of the best solution. But make no mistake, I'm an advocate of doing things where they make sense, and there are cases where certainly keeping applications or data on premises, possibly running on bare metal or possibly even virtualized, still may make a lot of sense for your business. And so where it makes sense to leave it as is, we should leave it as is. That said, perhaps the production version or production databases need to remain on-prem, but the cloud could be part of your development and test or even DR solution. I think that one of the primary factors that are driving businesses into the public cloud are generally cost-related or perceived cost savings. But I'm not convinced that if in a lift and shift situation we always are able to realize the cost savings, and I believe that our businesses need to be properly prepared for that. And I believe that in my opinion, only the best reasons to leverage the cloud is to adopt disruptive technologies, try and enable higher levels of innovation and development velocity, and be able to innovate and out-innovate your competitors.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today, Chris. So to wrap this up, I want to simply remind the audience that whether they are already in the cloud, on their way there, or still have some questions, Pythian can help. Pythian Cloud Services combine more than 200 years of experience with multiple certifications in cloud platforms, including AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure. So when you're ready, contact us at info@pythian.com.